Great day, kings and queens. Welcome to another conversation with Drew. I'm blessed and honored to be able to share my gift with you guys. This is a magnificent Monday to be able to share the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of God. I don't take this thing for granted. You know, it's so amazing to be able to get the divine understanding that we need in order to be successful in this earth. I just wanted to come to you guys briefly and, speak on something, man, I believe that people are still struggling with and really having such a hard time grasping the concept of our thinking, of our mindset. It is so imperative that we understand the value of the way that we think, our mindset. And so it was so amazing as I was meditating, this morning and really, receiving, the understanding of what I was going to speak about with you guys, and God gave me something so simple. It's like, as a creator, if you was to create something, right, naturally you would want to lay down the foundation first. But in the components of that foundation, right, you would definitely need principles. And the value of principles is say if something went wrong, right, and you establish these principles, you can always get back to the right place by living by these principles or operating in these principles, right? That's like why when a contractor is building some things, right, when a contractor is laying the foundation of the building or the house or whatever it is that he's building, right, there are certain principles to specific corners or specific things that the contractor has to abide by. Why? Because if you don't abide by the principle of this law in the corner of this building, and you build another corner the wrong way, it'll cause the building to eventually collapse. And so as long as the contractor is abiding by these principles that the architect drew up and that are the guidelines of the city, then it inevitably it'll be successful, right? This is what's so powerful when you understand this concept, right? So when the Father created the whole earth, he had these principles, right? He laid these principles down in the foundation of the very essence of the fiber of the earth, right? And then these principles are intelligence, meaning that in order for God to get his idea to the earth, he had to establish a principle. He had to establish principles. And once you grasp this, right, you understand how simple that life begins to come. I mean, begins to come together, right? And so it was so dope, right? When he showed me this, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this like, wow. So this means that if I operate in these principles, if I abide by these principles, that means that invariably I get results. It's that simple, right? So imagine this. Imagine you have this ball in front of you, right? And then you have this power behind the ball. Now, let me speak on the soul real fast. The soul is comprised of three components. That is the mind, that is the will, and that is the emotions, right? And I need, especially my African Americans, to understand this, because this is what we're lacking in our community, and this is why we continue to fail and not get the results that we desire, right? So you have the mind, which is the subconscious mind. You have the will, and you have the emotions. This is the soul. This is what makes up the soul, right? And so you have this ball. You have this big old ball. You want to move this ball, and behind the ball is the power, right? So the ball is the mind. Behind the ball is the will and the emotions, right? And so with the will and the emotions, you move this ball. But first, you got to have the thinking together first. You got to have the idea. This is a principle. This is a law. That's why it says, as a man think in his heart, so is he. Or what we think about, we bring about. This is principle, right? And you have to understand this. And so in order to move this ball, we must use our will and our emotions to move the ball, to move the mind. So when we want to move, we use our will and emotions, right? Now check this out. This means that if you put your will and your emotions in front of the principle of thinking, you will not get the results that you desire, meaning that the ball start going back the wrong way, right? So this is what we're doing in our community. We're getting so emotional. We're saying that I don't feel like this, or I do feel like this, but we haven't established the principle of thinking first. And thought is in everything. Intelligence is in everything. It's in the grass. It's in the trees. It's in the air. It's in the brick. It's in the cement. Intelligence is in everything. So when you are operating outside of law or outside of principle, then inevitably you're going to fail. So this is why belief and faith is so daggone important in everything that we do, because it is a principle. So if I do not believe that I'm able to be successful in transforming my body from going from obese to fit, then I'm not going to do it. It's going to fail. So it don't matter how I feel. It don't matter what my emotions is. It don't matter what my feelings are. If I do not have the idea or the belief that I am capable of doing it before I use my will and my emotions to push the ball, then it's not going to get done. I just can't go out there and say, I feel great today and I'm going to get this done. It won't work. I have to say, I believe, I have the faith that I have the ability to accomplish this goal. And invariably, we begin to use our will and our emotions to get these things rolling. This is how it works. It's literally this simple. We have the ability literally to use intelligence to operate anything that we desire in this earth. We have that authority to be able to move anything that we desire in this earth. But if you never believe that you can do it, if you never have the faith that you can do it, then you'll fail every time. Why? Because intelligence literally is in the DNA, in the wiring of everything in the earth. That's why God can say, let there be light. That's why he can say, let there be animals. That's why he can say, let there be fish. That's why he can say, let there be water. And naturally, in the intelligence that he sent forth, it created all of these things. Well, he then said, let me make the man, the human, in my same image and my likeness, to be able to do the same exact thing. So when you use your intelligence, when you use your mindset, when you use your thoughts, when you use the ideas that come to you, you create what it is that you desire in your life. Look at your life right now. That's what I want you to do. Look at your life right now and go over your life and say, where did I succeed at? And then go over your life and say, where didn't I succeed at? And I guarantee at the core of everything that you succeeded at, you'll find faith. At the core of everything you didn't succeed at, you'll find fear. It's literally that simple, because we have the ability to believe in such a way and then take action using our will and emotions to then move that thing forward. You understand what I'm saying? You have that type of ability. You have that type of value. You have that type of authority to be able to create with your mind first. It's a principle. It is literally a principle. You have the ability to create with your mind first that which you're seeking to do. That's why the contractor, look at the contractor as being the will and the emotions, and look at the architect as being the mind. The mind drew up the blueprint. The mind seen the idea. The mind used the intelligence. The mind used the thought. And then the contractor, the will and emotions, came and put it into play. But show me one building that was built without an architect. Show me one house that was built without an architect. You'll never discover that. You'll never find that, because a contractor has to have the vision, the idea, the thought of the architect first. Therefore, when you understand the value of your belief in your faith, realizing and recognizing that it's a principle. This is not something that I just want to say and express to you guys because it sounds good. Intelligence is in everything. That's why in personal development, they talk about universal intelligence or infinite intelligence, because they understand that the mind of God created everything and the mind of God sustains all things. So when you understand that, and that's why the Bible says things like, no one knows the mind of God but the Spirit of God. Allow this mind to be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Set your mind on things above and not on the things of the earth. Be ye transformed by a renewing of your mind. As a man think in his heart, so is he. Why I keep talking about the mind? Because it understands the principle of thought. And if you never believe, that's why I can keep giving you more. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. Daughter, be of good cheer, for your faith has made you whole. I believe, but help my unbelief. All things are possible to him who believe. I'm telling you, I can go on and on about your belief. Your belief is your thinking. Because intelligence is in everything that we see and can't see. So if you never believe that you can do something or you can accomplish something, you're literally operating outside of the way you were created to function. And if you're operating outside of the way you were created to function, this means that you're malfunctioning. and you're wondering why you're not getting any results. Because emotionally you say, I don't want to do this, or I don't feel like doing this, or I feel like doing this. And that's why you cannot get the results that you deserve, because you never stopped and said, let me believe first. Let me check my faith first. When I check my faith, when I see that I have the faith, when I see that I have the thoughts, when I see that I have the mindset to believe, I can accomplish it. It's a principle. It's a law. I cannot fail. Period. This is why I'm able to come before you guys every single day, right? Because in my heart, I believe that every video that I deliver will be successful. I believe that I was created for this very moment, for this very second, and therefore I cannot fail. I believe that Facebook Live was created for me. I believe that one day somebody will hear one of these messages and it'll take my speaking career to the next level. I believe that God put the gift of influence inside of me to speak life into people. Therefore, the more I speak, the more people will be healed. I believe that if I open my mouth and use the power of death and life in my tongue, that I can speak across the board, and it doesn't matter what race, what creed, what ethnicity, what belief factor, I can impact your life. That's why I do this, because I believe it. So what I'm saying to you is, in order for you to change the way that you desire in life, understand this principle, that if you do not believe in something, you will not succeed at it. But if you believe in it, and then you use your will and your emotions to act on it, then invariably you will get the desired results. So it doesn't matter the situation that comes. It doesn't matter the roadblocks that come. It doesn't matter the fork in the road that comes. It doesn't matter the temptation that comes. It doesn't matter the snares that come. It doesn't matter the darts that come. Nothing can stop you, because your belief is what it takes to exercise the principle that has never failed earth. Go up on top of a building and jump off the building right now. You'll go down every time, because the principle or the law of gravity says that you must go down in earth. It will never fail you, I promise you. But this is the principle that we've been missing, and we have been failing to use because we didn't know it, right? So now that you've heard this, how do I get more of it, Drew? So now this is what you do. You set your mind. Why? Because intelligence is at the core of everything. You set your mind on getting more of this. Why? Because faith comes by hearing, hearing the word. This means that in order for me to believe more, I got to first know what it is that I want to believe in. So once I know what it is that I want to believe in, all I must do is continue to download that information over and over and over and over and over again. And invariably, you'll walk with a knowing instead of a belief. That's why Christ was so authoritative in the earth, because he walked with a knowing, not just a belief. He was trying to get the disciples to believe, but he wanted them to get to the place of a knowing. See, when you know something, can't nobody tell you nothing. You dig what I'm saying? And I know that I was created for this moment. That's why nobody can tell me, Drew, be quiet. You know what I mean? They might as well go and stand in front of a train track. I mean, a train in front of on a train track, because I realized that I was created for this. I didn't ask to have the gift of influence. I didn't ask for the ability to speak. I didn't ask for the ability to be able to speak life into people. This was given to me. Therefore, in order for me to have more confidence in it, in order for me to have more faith in it, I just started downloading information to talk about. I just began to download information that was congruent to my belief. And that's all you have to do. So if you're desiring to change your life right now, if you're desiring to change your situation, your circumstances right now, if you're desiring to enhance what you already know right now, the principle is, if you feed that belief, if you feed that seed, if you water it with words, with truth, with knowledge, with audios, with books, with literature, with videos, if you download more and more information into that bucket where your seed is being cultivated and growing at, invariably you will have so much faith as a mustard tree that nothing will be able to stop you. It'll go from a mustard seed faith to a mustard tree faith. If you ever seen a mustard seed and then seen a mustard tree, you'll understand why that analogy was used. Because literally you become so big, you grow into such a dominant figure in your belief and in your thinking that it's almost like you're walking on water in front of man. This is what we are missing. We're missing this principle. So I pray today that this principle, this message sinks into your spirit, sinks into the core of who you are, and begin to grow and cultivate and move in such a way that the word can no longer die in you. You must take this word and you must cultivate it. Why? Because the enemy, the wicked one, is waiting for you to slip up and say, man, what Drew was saying was a lie. I believed in this and it didn't happen. No, what you did is you had an idea that you didn't cultivate. Now we're working on your belief. Now we're working on your faith. Why? Because this is a principle that you need in order to be successful in everything you do in life. So I'm speaking the word that it will happen, that you will move in such dominant fashion because of your belief, and you will take action and begin to pour in more information, more downloads, more videos, more literature, more audios on what it is that you want to believe in. The more knowledge you have in something, the more knowing that you have, the more faith that you have. Therefore, you can't be stopped, king. You can't be stopped, queen. It's that simple. It's a principle that's in the fabric of the earth. Therefore, if you abide by this principle and you get outside of your emotions, use your emotions to fuel the principle instead of fueling your emotions with more emotions, you will get great results. It's inevitable. It's invariable. And I pray that this thing permeates your soul from this day forward in such a way that you cannot be stopped. I love y'all. God bless. Share this video with at least one person. But remember, check this out. It's a look. I mean, it's not a look, it's a lifestyle. Because what we do not do to impress people, but we do this to leave our impression in the earth. God bless y'all. I love y'all. Have a magnificent Monday. Check your belief.